to the goofball army out there. Hi to families. Tell them to get to the next room. Tell them to go to your neighbors because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me. I'm Rob, with a happy Monday. After awesome, happy. Well, a very indecisive happy Monday.
Victory Monday. It's still Victory Monday. God damn it! It's still Victory.
There's some highs, there's some lows.
Yes,
but we still won.
And listen, there is lows, and those of y'all that watch or listen on a regular basis know that we do kind of tell like it is, and that sometimes gets us in trouble, but we just call it like it is. So there's definitely going to be some negativity, even within a win, because there's still some issues that you guys can see. But we're also going to go over some news, obviously, with the big injury to Nabers, what to do now, what caused it. Look at that huge turf. That kind of stuff there. We also got some news from the Mara family to share with you guys here. And got to give a little shout out to somebody here in a minute, too, as well. So let's go ahead and kick it off here. All righty. So before we get into news and all, we've given a few shout outs to the audio listeners specifically here on the show lately. Because listen, we played broken 3 months in a row. We've broken our record for most audio downloads in a month. I think it's 3 months running now. Well,
yeah, about to be on the fourth.
This month, guys, last month was a record for most downloads we ever had. And y'all really doubled it this month. Doubled it. So, got to give you guys a shout out on the audio end, because I always feel bad. Y'all get, unfortunately, don't get involved in the live streams and stuff like that because you're on the audio, not the video stuff. But I just want to give you guys all the shout out early on because, like I said, it's definitely something we appreciate, and it's definitely not going unnoticed. That's for sure. So much appreciation to you guys for that. All right, let's get into the news here, and we got to start off here with give you guys something happy with us here. That we got to give you some news that is not so happy here. John Mara announced today via the Giants that he has cancer. Now, we don't know all the details because, again, quite frankly, he doesn't have to share his cancer. That's not anybody's business, really, to be very frank. But you look at what he's done with this team for how many years at that point. Agree, disagree, whatever the case may be. The man's been around the Giants forever, and as Giants fans, it's kind of he's been part of our life for a long time. So, definitely was news I didn't like to hear, as for sure. We don't know what type of cancer. We don't know what stage. We don't know, anything else as far as what's going on. He just released a statement saying, "I'm feeling strong and optimistic, and I'm committed to seeing this through to a positive outcome. I plan to remain active with the team throughout my treatment, and I'm fortunate to be surrounded by incredible support, personally, professionally, and medically. I ask that you respect my privacy and my family's privacy at this time," he said in the statement. So, it goes without saying, but obviously we wish him all the best. Like I said, this is one of those times you kind of put aside any issues you have with ownership of the Giants right now and, say, hopefully the best turnout possible, and pretty much all you can say in this stance, right? I mean,
listen, John, we wish you well, wish your family well, wish you, a speedy recovery if that's something that could happen. And listen, I hope you get through this because at the end of the day, you've put me through a lot, but you also brought me a lot of joy. So,
Eddie, listen, we've said it before. If anything, the issue we complain about with John Mayer more than anything else is the guy's too nice of a guy and holds on to people that suck at their job. Loyalty to a fault.
yeah.
Like, if you got to have a flaw, that's probably one of the better flaws to have to a certain degree. See, Rob even left now because he's that upset. But yeah, like I said, a speedy recovery for you, John. Hope everything goes well. Hope that you do truly have the support that you said there. Anybody knows anybody going through those kind of medical issues, support is everything. Absolutely. And I'll say this: we've often, as Giants fans, we know that John Mara has given out his listen. It's right online. I'm not going to give it out personally, but it's out there for everybody to send letters and everything like that to him whenever you're upset or happy with the team, either direction. Here, as we got Rob back here, I would encourage everybody that feels moved to do it. Go ahead and send him a letter of support. As we've all known somebody at some point in our life that's had to fight cancer. It's not easy, no matter what kind it is, no matter what stage it is, the physical, emotional, those kind of stuff that goes along with it. So, he could use a little support right now. That's for sure. So definitely he'll get it from us. Even though, again, we're stuck to let him off the hook for things we don't like going on with the Giants right now. But as far as this topic specifically, obviously, we're gonna throw all the support we can to him. So, all right, let's get to Malik Nabers, because that's the big news. We knew this pretty much going into today, that chances are we're gonna get the news that he does have a torn ACL, would be out for the year. And guess what came out today? He does have a torn ACL. He will be out for the year. So unfortunately, we are dealing with that issue there specifically. But it's a sad thing, but we kind of have to. And you look at the statement from Brian Daboll after the game, and he kind of gave the next man up speech, and I'm kind of like, wow, like you almost sound like the boss that doesn't give a damn about your employees at that point. You know what I mean? Like, well, he's next. Let's hire someone else. Like, that's kind of the mentality. Like, but you have to have that. You have to have that in these kind of scenarios, because it's not going to get better. It's not like all of a sudden you're to turn around and he's going to walk through the door again and start playing. So, you kind of have to have that conversation of like, what do we do now that he's gone? And there's a whole laundry list of people that are being mentioned out there. Like, ridiculous laundry list of people.
Yeah, listen, I heard Tyreek Hill, but I guess just after what just happened, that's probably not going to happen.
So, Tyreek Hill, I didn't put on the list even for us, to be very frank, because I think that's so insane. It's not even funny. Not to mention,
I think it's insane.
As a Giants fan, I want nothing to do with Tyreek Hill. I've never been a fan of him.
Listen, I was a fan of him. He hasn't played the same in the past year, season, that whatever now, but he also got caught off the field.
Oh, did he?
So, I don't know what happened, but I just know he got caught off the field.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't wish bad upon the guy. I don't want to take it that far. Made me feel like a jerk now for saying I like the guy. But you want to talk about torn ACL? That dude just twisted his knee and his foot behind his. He broke his
butt.
Anyway, we'll get off the Tyreek Hill thing. Let's talk about the options people are talking about. But the very first one, we got to get out of the way. And let me just tell you guys right now, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's Odell Beckham Jr. Because every single time lately the Giants need a receiver, let's go back to the OBJ well. Listen, that well ran dry years ago. And don't get me wrong, he would do it. He'd probably do it for a minimum deal.
Just for his ego, what's not going to happen
on the field, like. And it's like, this is the one place he can go, and people will just like worship him as he comes out of the tunnel there, so to speak. Because there's this segment of Giants fans that think this guy walks on water still. Like it's a scenario where, listen, I appreciate all the work he put in for us when he was a Giant. I really do. Like, I don't want to seem like we're like bitter about that kind of stuff, but he had a lot of maturity issues. He left the Giants. He has not shown any reason for us to believe his maturity issues have been fixed.
I think there's some there's some room there, but it's not like
Listen, he literally got asked
by
the Dolphins for not being used enough last year that nobody else picked him up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but I think that's. I don't think that's game. I think that's game playing, not maturity. Like he's too injury prone. He's getting up there in age, and he's slowing down the step. Like what made him special was he's faster than everyone else. He had that length where he was very mobile. And you know what? You have 3 knee surgeries, and you had all these problems where you had to miss season because of attitude issues. He got humbled by knee injuries and being like kicked to the side because he was, lack of better terms, a jerk off.
I don't think humbled and OBJ go together. I just don't think they go.
I don't think he's humble. I think he was humbled. There's a difference. Not necessarily that he's a better person, but he's not so much of an a-hole.
I don't think he's necessarily an a-hole. I think he's just immature. I really think that with him. That's what I don't know the guy personally, so I don't want to say okay, that's what's going on. It's just that's the vibe I get from him. But like I said, there's like nothing left in the tank. He's up there in age. I don't see the potential why you would want to go ahead and bring him in, to be very frank. Next up, a very popular name in this that's much more realistic, and that's Little Jordan Humphreys, who obviously was with us during the training camp there, is on the practice squad currently. And he also is a guy that gives a different type of receiver for this team. And that's what I liked about him as a potential guy to add, because we don't really have any big targets. And this is a team that's obviously struggling in the red zone. So getting a big receiver like that would be a good move. Now, is Humphreys a good player? No, that's why he's on the practice squad. And that's the one bit of hesitation I'm going to give you. But what kind of good player are you expecting to get at the end of September?
Not really anyone.
Yeah. Like, I don't
pickings.
Yeah, I don't know who you would be, looking for at that point. So, only way to do it is a trade. And the one guy that everybody talks about as far as trade wise is on the Raiders right now, and that's Jakobi Meyers, who, for those of you who have been listening for a few years, know that I was like point blank saying 2 years ago when he was a free agent that we should have signed him, or 3 years ago, I think it's been now. But for whatever reason, the Giants were interested. Guy broke 1,000 yards last year. He's on pace to do it again. He's got 258 yards so far in 4 games. He's a good player. Is he a great player? A player? No, he's a B player. You know what I mean? Like he's better than anybody we have right now. But he's not, exactly a great, amazing player at this point. I just don't know what they'd want for him. And he'd be a guy I'd be kind of interested in potentially. But here's also the problem you run into. Let's say you go get a guy like Jakobi Meyers. Let's just, throw it out there. If you go ahead and get a guy like Jakobi Meyers, or I see you guys in the comments, Chris Olave, we will talk about him in a moment too. Either one of those guys, because you can bunch these together, guys you have to trade for. Say goodbye to Wan'Dale Robinson next year. And that's just one of those, you have to think about that in the process, because you're already paying money to Slayton. You got, obviously, Malik Nabers still on a rookie deal, but it's a rookie deal that's a first-round pick rookie deal. And now you got a guy that you're going to have to pay on top of that, potentially. It's a lot of money to be putting in receivers.
Yeah, and listen, Wan'Dale, he's not going to get the biggest contract out there.
No.
Stay with the Giants, but if you're going to pick up Myers, how much is he getting paid now? Because the trade, you got to pick up his salary.
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now. I had a feeling you're going to ask. So he signed a 3-year, $33 million contract. So he's got, let's see here. So 25. His cap number, let's see here. You see, where's going? Let me go to salary specifically here for you. His salary is $10.5 million, but you're only paying the balance of that, and then you have to look about what you're doing going forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're looking at 4 games, so it's still a hefty part of the year.
Yeah, So
they're still looking at $8 million probably.
So I mean, they'll save some money, so they'll want to do it. But again, what are you going to give up? You want to give up draft picks for a young rebuilding team to get a guy that you basically need because your guy hurt himself for 1 year?
Yeah, the young guy to pick up Jakobi Meyers, who's not quite the young guy anymore.
Yeah, he's late 20s. He's 29. So yeah, he's got a couple more years, and that's it probably. But like I said, I don't know if that's the right way to go here. And then the other guy is the guy, again, you guys have mentioned in the comments already, Chris Olave. Had 2 great years in New Orleans to start his career off. Now in the last year and a quarter, he's played in 12 games, had a 585 yards in those 12 games. Definitely, not played to his old self.
Well, listen, we talked about asterisks. Spencer, he said it's got Rattler. It's who's throwing to him. Like, that offense has been, we thought our offense was bad. The Saints have been terrible.
I don't disagree on that, but I feel like the Giants are a walking asterisk.
Yeah, so you can put Olave, asterisk, could be better with a better team. Goes to a good team. Listen, I was surprised Dallas didn't go after Olave this offseason. That's like a home he would go to and actually kind of look good at. And I don't want to admit that as a Giants fan, but that's a move they would do.
I feel like the Saints are trying to build him up first. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're trying to do. And, for him to be
rather throw it to him.
I get it.
They try to build him up and let him throw the ball in some kind of crazy college wildcat thing against the Bills.
And he actually got catch issues as well. He's got a lot of drops already this year. His yard per target is down as well, but not crazily. So, I mean, I'm looking at all the stats here. They're not insane here. I just think that, like I said, I feel like this is definitely is stuff gone down. And I just don't know what you're going to do with the guy that you're going to have to pay 1 more year after this, because he is signed through 26, when you already have good money invested into that position, and you have one of your own becoming a free agent, and the guy is literally dropped from a career average of 13 yards per reception down to 7.
Yeah, and he had some quarterback play. Now has Rattler.
Did he have it last year? Who was his quarterback last year? Spencer Rattler. But last year, he didn't have that. Last year, if you go to his yards per reception, it was 12.5 last year, pretty much on his average.
Okay, we're still through.
He's also got a new offensive scheme entirely as the new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, there's plenty of times for that to change, Drew.
If
you're looking at the two, listen, if we're looking at the 2 wide receivers, I would take Olave over Meyers.
So I would say this: Olave higher ceiling, lower floor than the 2. And neither one of them is wrong to say, by the way, just how much you want to gamble. Now, in this scenario here, because you're trying to replace the number 1, you would probably want to go ahead and get somebody who has the potential to operate as the number 1. And I can get that. But this guy also has a cap number next year of $15.5 million. And it's all base salary.
Which means goodbye, Wandale, which I don't think I'm okay with.
It's not just goodbye, Wandale. It's goodbye like you already signed a free agent before you even actually got to free agency. Like, you're adding a decent contract, granted for 1 year only next year, but you're still doing it for a guy who's on a downswing from what he was a couple of years ago.
I think it's a little fair to say downswing just yet in the season. Just yet, because you're taking 17 games and taking stats off of 4.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm going the last year and a half or year and a quarter, whatever the hell you want to call it. 12 games, 585 yards. That's where he's at for the last 2 seasons combined, including this one. So even the touchdowns are down, just 2 touchdowns.
Like, look at the Saints offense. The whole Saints offense is the touchdowns are down.
I just don't know if he's there yet. I just don't, and it's a gamble. And don't get me wrong, for a team that's desperate for a receiver, that gamble's worthwhile. I don't want to gamble, especially when they give up draft picks for it, give up cap space to do it. For a guy we're borrowing basically for this year and next.
So at the end of the day, this is my thought process. It's not worth it. Like, listen, if you're talking about like if we're potentially going to the playoffs, possibly going to thinking a little higher than that. Yeah, I would take the gamble.
So,
but we're not going to the playoffs. Like, let's be real. Like, this probably gonna happen. So we're in the middle of rebuilding. Why would you want to waste your cap on that?
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Especially, Nabers is a young guy.
Yep.
Which they heal fast with ACLs compared to some of those older folk out there.
Yeah.
Granted, he's not going to look the same. Look at Wandale a couple years ago. Towards ACL, came back, didn't quite look the same, and he's starting to come too. Is he our number one? No. So he's going to get those numbers, but he'll probably get the same amount of numbers if he had Nabers there as well, or similar to, because he's not going to be the number one targeted receiver, which means Nabers are going to be double coverage, which Wanda's going to be more open. Now he's going to be targeted more by defenses.
Yeah. Now, here's another interesting wrinkle to the Olave potential. Who do we play this week?
The Saints.
Do you think the Saints are going to possibly trade us Chris Olave as we're about to play them? Like, I'm being honest. Like, if you were Mickey Loomis, I think is the GM's name there, would you be like, yeah, hey, I'm about to play the Giants. Oh, what's this phone call here? Let me see. Oh, is this you, Joe Shea? Do you want Chris Olave? Right before we're about to play you? Here you go. Take him. Like, no.
No, but listen. Do we need a new receiver to play the Saints to make an outcome a difference in this game? Maybe.
But that's where I'm kind of getting at.
But you're not telling me when they're in the same city, they're going to have a conversation possibly down the road, like, hey, you know what? Let's make a trade.
I'm just saying, play the game and then see what happens. And then if you decide after a couple weeks you need Olave before the trade deadline hits, then maybe you go for it, depending on what you got to give up.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen craziness out of Olave where I'm like, oh, I got to get this guy. Like that's just where I'm at. Let's go on to the next one here. So we got DJ Shark, who I can't believe is still being talked about. This kid was like, he's fast. Be very clear. He is as fast as they come. And he's put up some production. He's averaged 848 yards per season. Per 17 games, not per season, per 17 games between 19 to 23. So you got a 5-year stretch, but he was often battling injuries. Just 31 yards in 7 games last year with the Chargers. So yeah, I would go no there.
Yeah.
I would go no.
Let's go to Texas and go to El Paso.
Tyler Boyd. Another guy had a good past, but after 8 years in Cincinnati, he followed the OC from Cincinnati over to Tennessee when he became the head coach there. Last year, 39 catches, 390 yards. His yards per game went down from 50 yards per game with the Bengals for his career there to 24.4 last year. That's bad. And the same OC. The difference is he was a third wide receiver in Cincinnati. He was now the guy in Tennessee. So yeah, I'm good. I don't need that.
Pass.
Nelson Agholor. Solid wide receiver veteran. 32 years old though.
Solid.
So yeah, I listen. 14 catches, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns to the Ravens last year. I'm good. We can get that with a young player.
Listen, the only reason Giants fans know this guy's name is when he played with Philly, he just smoked us that one game.
Yeah.
And listen, like he also dropped that pass. Which is the biggest thing.
I see you guys in the comments like this is the scrap heap. Don't get me wrong, but it's the end of September. That's what's left is scrap heap. None of these guys are going to replace Nabers. Let's be very clear on this. It's going to have to be a collective. It's going to have to be. Next up, Robert Woods. Another solid vet. 33 years old, though. Last season with the Texans, 20 catches, 203 yards. Again, no.
Yeah. Listen, he was great back in the day. But back in his day, he used to walk to school uphill both ways.
In my day. Allen Robinson, another guy that I've heard people bring up again because he was with the Giants last year in camp for a while. Last year, he got cut by us, signed with the Lions. 3 catches, 30 yards. 32 years old. I'm good. I'm passing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's the more serious names. There are 2 names that I would want us to look at. First off, Isaiah Hodgins. Bringing back the Hodgins. So 2 reasons, actually 3 reasons I really like having Hodgins back. 1, he's going to be cheap. Like, we're not going to be paying a ton of money to Hodgins. Let's be very frank. You're going to grab him.
He's also not going to be their one.
That's where he's at right now. I see a Jay there with a comment. He is a Steeler, but he's on the practice squad. So you can pluck him. So he's going to be cheap. He knows the playbook because he's been here. And on top of that, he also fits the bill, what I said with little Jordan Humphreys, a bigger receiver, which we really don't have. You know, Hodgins was good in the end zone. That's where he really was his best, I felt like. You know, and that's what we're missing. Now, do I expect him to go all pro and actually, replace, Malik Nabers? No. And is it possible that if we go to pick up Hodgins, that maybe the Steelers go ahead and pick him up permanently? They did call him up for the game in Dublin last week. He was on the field, but he was a practice squad call-up like we've been doing with Elijah Garcia and people like that. So he's still not technically on the active roster. So he is a guy we can go ahead and pick up. The last one. We've talked about this guy before. And we brought him in for a visit this offseason. That's Gabe Davis. Now, he's the one that I would be really curious about. He's still just 26 years old, coming off an injury last year. He's right now on the practice squad for the Buffalo Bills. Last year for the Jags, 20 catches, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns. During his time with Buffalo, the last 2 years before he went and signed with Jacksonville, averaged 791 yards receiving per year the last 2 years. That's to me is it interesting, an interesting option, depending on how healthy he is. But again, you got to question, why is he on a practice squad? Why is he not an active roster? But you got some pedigree. You also got some work with Daboll at that point there. You got the fact that you do have some knowledge there. As Jay says, Davis is on the Bills, dude. He's on the practice squad. Again, you're talking Isaiah Hodgins, Gabe Davis, both are on practice squads right now. Both are able to be plucked. So, again, can a team block us? Yes. I actually say no. We're going to give you a spot. And Dip says we want other teams' practice squads instead of our own. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The guys we have in the practice squad aren't exactly guys that I have much confidence in. Little Jordan Humphreys, we were upset about point blank with the signing. Not like, oh my God, insanely, upset about it. But he's not a good player. So, again, I don't expect to get a great player in here either. But I think we can do better than little Jordan Humphreys. In a pinch, whatever. Let's take him, I guess, because he fits the needs.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, unless you get one of these guys at veteran minimum, dirt cheap, where you bring him up, I think you block from your practice squad. Like, I think the best player that you could promote from this position even with all these free agents that we just talked about, or possibilities to bring over here, unless you're willing to do some kind of big trade, is you have Wandell and Slayton step up. You get some more scheme in here. They're going to have to, because at the end of the day, like, what are we going to do? We're going to send like Russell somewhere and hopefully pick up a wide 3 to be our wide 1 with maybe a couple trades. Right? Like, no, this is like crazy talk. Like, I saw like some people talk about like, oh, we should send Russ to Cincinnati and pick up Hodgins. Like, in what world do you think we get
Hodgins?
We get number 2. Not Hodgins, Higgins.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, for not giving up Higgins first off.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy talk.
I mean, listen, the crazy thing about crazy talk, Jalen Hyatt is technically our 3rd receiver right now. That's the crazy talk. And I honestly, what I think the Giants are going to do is I think they're going to take this week and they're going to bring guys in potentially for some workouts that are available, guys that aren't on practice squads, because you can't do those. But I think what that's going to do is they're going to bring in some guys. And then they're going to probably make a call up this week. I think they're going to kind of put it on the back burner and see how this week goes. Because it's the Saints. It's the Saints. And I think little Jordan Humphreys is the guy they'll call up personally. We'll see. Well, a lot can happen. A lot can happen, because keep in mind, we've talked about it. And where's the comment I saw you put up, Jay, here about desperation? Here we go. Yes, desperation is a stinky cologne, talking to Deb there. But listen, there's desperation all across this Giants team. Brian Daboll's fighting for his job. There's reports point blank that if they lost to the Chargers, he was gone. Now, do I think that's accurate? I don't know. I'm not in the meetings there. It's just one guy personally that I've really heard saying that, Pat Leonard. But Pat Leonard, every so often, says things that nobody else is saying, and he's right. Don't think that Joe Shane's trying to validate his job right now, too, as well. He surely is. So, like I said, I do think that you're going to see this week it kind of put in the back burner. And that's what I think. Little Jordan Humphreys goes in. We're going to have to spread the ball out a little more. I think the biggest thing I want to see a difference on, and this is part that really scares me, let me be honest, to a certain degree, because of the dropsies, oopsies, whatsies this year so far.
Whoopsie.
But Theo Johnson's going to have to be the guy. Like, he's had to be the guy really to step up and be the receiver that we think he can be as a tight end. Because if you can have him do that, that takes some of the pressure off the receivers. Again, we don't have great deep depth receivers, guys. And guys aren't going to be coming out of thin air to go play for the Giants.
No.
10-year-old version to go of OBJ is not coming out the tunnel, guys. I mean, to be very frank, what I would just do at this point is I'd cut my loss with Hyatt, just let him go, and bring up guys that I think can actually contribute. I mean, at this point, it's a waste of space.
It really is part of a waste of 53-man roster if you're not going to let them out there and play or be a healthy scratch. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys that we could talk about besides Jordan Humphreys. I see the comment here from Davis about Juice Wells. Obviously, he played with him at Ole Miss. Dalen Cambry actually looked good at times in preseason as well, even though he was mostly a special teamer guy. So I don't know. I feel like there's no perfect answer to how do you replace a guy like Malik Nabers. You can't. Yeah. You point.
He was a top 5 receiver at that point of when it happened. So,
yeah. But what you can try to do is try to get back as much as you can with collectively. Bring in receivers you actually want to play. Again, drop Jalen Hyatt. I'm saying it point blank. Drop Jalen Hyatt. I'm so done. It's not even funny. He was in 29 snaps, by the way, yesterday. Didn't get a single ball thrown his way. And that's not Jackson Dart's fault. He's not open. He can't get open. So I would drop him immediately. Go ahead and pick up, a couple of receivers at that point that actually can do something.
Now, one trick is not tricking.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's more than speed, guys. It's more than speed. So, all right. Let's talk about a little bit of a tough topic here. We got to talk about the turf. Can we talk about the freaking turf at MetLife Stadium already? And have a legit conversation that actually produces something here? Because it's getting ridiculous. So here's a list I'm going to give you guys of some guys who've gotten hurt at MetLife Stadium, point blank, in the last, couple of seasons here. So obviously this year, we got Malik Nabers. Somehow last year, we miraculously got nothing. I don't know how that worked out.
It's because we put an offense out there last year.
23. And I'm giving you the list of ACLs and Achilles injuries. I'm also giving you anybody who's been on MetLife. I'm not talking just Giants, though I will tell you that the Giants are easily 2/3 of this list, even though half of them. Aaron Rodgers in 23. Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins in 23. 22, Kyler Fuller of the Ravens. Darian Beavers. Marcus McKeithen. Sterling Shepard. Wan'Dale Robinson. Aaron Rodgers. Let's go to 21. Blake Martinez. Jabril Peppers. Shane Lemieux. Rodarius Williams. TJ Brunson. Jonathan Harris. Matt Pert. Sterling Shepard. Going back to 20. Nick Bosa of the 49ers. And Solomon Thomas of the 49ers. And then the very last game of 19, I'm going to include it to try to get more of a full 6 years in this whole thing. John Jalapeno, remember him, the old center?
Yep.
That's a long list, guys. That's just in the last 6 years. ACLs or Achilles injuries. Now, again, we talked earlier, just to be clear, anybody who wasn't on for that segment here, we're wishing John Mara all the best with his cancer diagnosis and all that stuff there. But I got to separate these two issues here and point blank say that Giants ownership needs to get the freaking head screwed on straight already and figure out a way to make this happen. Because it's amazing that soccer wants to come to town and we find a way to make grass.
It's amazing that you go to Europe, there's no turf out there because they know there's a higher probability of sports injuries. And I saw Devin in the comments. I just want to address this real fast. They said the turf didn't cause the injury. ACL was torn when Nabers went to the air. Very common in basketball injuries. You know why that's common in basketball injuries? It's because when the foot is placed on a twisted angle and you slide forward, your knee pivots the wrong way and it causes the ACL to twist. When the difference between the turf and the field is the grass gives and slides with you. The cleats dive into the turf and doesn't allow your legs or your feet to slide, causing the same reaction as a hardwood floor with flat tops to cause your foot to stop turning and your knee to continue to turn, which pops the ACL. That's what happened there.
Yes. And trust me.
That's your medical talk from Rob.
If you want to hear about the different surfaces, no one knows surfaces like Rob.
You know how easy it is to clean up AstroTurf compared to grass? Just saying.
Listen, I get it. Like, there's a shared issue as well because the grass is shared. I looked it up what the Giants are spending on. I should say the Giants. I'm sorry. MetLife Stadium is spending on the grass for this soccer game here. $400,000. That's what it costs to put grass down in the stadium. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. And I get it. I'm going to be kind of the jerk to say this here. And it is what it is. Let's just do the math here. $400,000. We have 17 games. We have 8.5 home games per year. We'll call it 9 just to make it simple, okay? We have 3 preseason games. Now, if you have 9 home games, you get 1 home game for the preseason. That's how it typically works out. So let's say 10. We have 10 games. Now, I might not be the mathematical genius that I wish I were. 400,000 times 10, I believe, is $4 million.
Yeah, it's a decimal.
$4 million. You're paying more to Evan Neal this year than you're going to have to pay to put grass on the field every single damn game. I'm not buying the money issue. I'm not. I'm sorry. I refuse to do it.
Their biggest issue is because of the non-sports that go into there that destroy the field. But listen, it's $400,000 to put grass in that field for the weekend, which also is not just the sod. It's also painting the fields of where everything's going to go. You don't have to get redo all that. Like, it's going to be cheaper if you maintain the grass every week. Like, we're putting a number, just put it in every week.
$3 million is the cost to maintain it. Here's the problem: is they don't have the infrastructure to maintain it because, quite frankly, we've talked about this to nauseum on the show here. But they built the Vanilla Dome, all about making money, and they don't have a spot like Arizona, for example. I believe, if I remember correctly, has a spot where the whole grass slides out of the stadium, so that way they can go ahead and block it off and still have concerts and things like that there. They also have there's other stadiums that they'll go ahead and open up, and they'll go ahead and close down and drop the field down, and then they'll go ahead and actually have lights on there, like UV lights and everything, to keep the grass good. They do that like crazy in Europe. But we don't have the infrastructure to do that stuff. So our options basically is to just put grass down. That's your options. Just put the grass down. And I don't listen. I'm not a construction guy to play one on TV. But
not very well either.
No, I'm not getting any Emmys anytime soon. It's more power. But it's like there's probably a way in the off season that they can go ahead and figure out a way to incorporate some kind of system into this. I find it impossible to believe there's not some way of figuring that out.
There's got to be a way. And let's be real. I mean, football's played in the winter. The grass is going to die after the field. You could cover it in your winter concerts when you cover the dome, whatever you get it. There's definitely something you can do here. There's no cheap ticket at MetLife.
Yeah.
You're telling me you put a $5 fee for grass, it's still going to sell tickets.
First off, you literally sold a 10% share of your franchise for $1 billion. Are you kidding me? You can't spend $4 million. And by the way, when I looked up the numbers, to maintain a grass field, the average stadium is about $2-3 million a year. Now, granted, they have the infrastructure because they actually planned accordingly when they built their stadium. There's no reason the Giants can't figure this out. There's no reason the Jets can't figure this out. There's no reason that these teams combined can't figure this out. I find this impossible to believe. And then on top of that, who the hell wants to come here as a free agent?
Yeah. Listen, there's no soccer players that are going to come over here and just play. Just imagine it's a matter of point until NFL just says enough's enough, or the NFL players, not the NFL themselves.
The NFL Players Association should have point blank already said enough is enough.
Yeah.
I actually blame them for a lot of this, because if you're expecting the rich people to go ahead and do what's right, if it's going to cost them more money, and I'm sorry, listen, there's people that are well off money wise that aren't jerks. I'm not trying to say that all rich people are jerks, but if you're expecting that, you're insane. They're not going to do it out of the kindness of their heart. That's just not what they're going to do. So it's time for the players to finally step up and tell ownership groups they're not going to deal with this BS. And it's got to be part of the next contract.
Now listen, you're not looking at one team. You're looking at two teams. It's not just the Giants that could go around and say something. It's the Jets. too. Like, and that's just shy of 10% of the NFL. So if you could go with that to the organization, just like, hey, like we have to play here.
Yeah.
18 weeks, like, or 17 weeks. We're not going to play here anymore. Well, that's if they're lucky to go to playoffs and go that far. But it's
the preseason. I'm not even talking about playoffs.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But then you include like, all right,
playoffs.
Yeah, listen, not everyone wants to talk to the Eagles, but you call them up and be like, "Yo, Jalen Hurts, do you want to play here twice a year or once a year? For the rest of your career?" No. Okay, like, hey, Dak, you're in your career. Do you want to play here another 2 or 3 times? No.
Yeah.
Daniels, hey, you got a long career ahead of you. You want to come over here? You're already injured now. Like, do you want to play here for the rest of your career? Once a year?
They keep on talking about extending it to 18 games too. Like, there's always been that rumor the last couple of years. Let's go to 18 games. Let's go to 18 games. Well, NFLPA's got to say something. Like, listen, like we bent over backwards because point blank, and I see Jay with the comment there. They're weak. They are. It's the weakest players union basically in all of sports. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's absolutely pathetic. Like, these guys.
It's no joke. GCO.
The amount of money these guys make compared to other sports is insane. You got like $300 million contracts to baseball players to go sit there in the outfield and scratch their nuts half the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. And there's too many people involved with that. I see Coach Ed with the Meadowlands having a say in this. There's too many people to say. And that's the problem we run into. But you got people getting injured. And that should matter.
Hands in the pot.
Like, you made an inferior product. MetLife Stadium is an inferior product. Look at linebacker position here. Like, that's a classic example right there. You got on both sides. You signed a veteran like Blake Martinez. But
I choose you.
You sign a guy who has a great 1 year with us, tears his ACL, never the same. Guy goes to selling Pokemon cards, to ending up on practice squads and all that kind of stuff, and he can't make a living anymore because he went to go sign for the Giants. He can't make a living now. Look at a guy like Darian Beavers. Came out of the draft, looked good, was looking solid in preseason and camp and everything. Tears his ACL, never the same player again.
Yeah. Save the bees, never happened.
I gotta say, listen, I'm a Giants fan, and I like I said, I give you guys the straight, truth and narrow and how I feel on things all the time. If I was a player, I would not want to play for the Giants or Jets because of the stadium. You're literally putting your career at risk to play for us. That's honestly how I feel. Now, I will give the Giants credit for changing the turf a couple of years ago, because they did do that a couple of years ago, and then obviously you've seen a significant drop in how many there's been now. But enough is enough. Like, it's done. How many players have to get hurt before you do something about this?
Yeah.
I can't. We've said this before. They don't do anything. Players have been asking for years for this. They don't do anything. This is like the idea that the Giants go ahead and just get a different turf is, I feel like it's the equivalent of like giving the fans a free medium Coke. But you did it to the players.
Yeah.
And like I said, this stadium has a reputation. It's a career killer. Ask people who play in the NFL, they'll tell you. People don't want to play there. They've literally had opposing teams complain about having to play at our stadium. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I see Jay in the comments talking about changing the turf a couple years ago. They did. There was a harder grade of turf that they had there, which was more conclusive to injuries, is what they've said, especially with the European studies with soccer leagues, other football leagues out there. But they changed to a lower grade, which allows a little more give to try to mimic better grass. But it just, at the same time, it's just not regular grass. Like, grass gives, and it's like playing football on a hardwood floor to playing football on, I guess, like a wrestling mat. Like, it's not going to give.
Yeah,
you got to go out there. Yeah. You got to go out there and actually plant some grass, some dirt gives underneath you.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm fed up. And maybe it's just frustration on losing Neighbors for the year, but yeah, I'm fed up. I'm done. All right. Let's talk about the Giants here overall here. And I want to ask the question here. Did the Giants actually turn a corner?
They turn around?
Well, it's like we got to win. We're all excited about the win. I get that. Like, we should be excited. It's our first win of the season. But I see a lot of stuff that's kind of like, I feel like people are ignoring things that went wrong in this game because we're so happy we won. We won against a team that, quite frankly, no one really thought we had a chance of winning. Here's one stat I keep seeing around. Let's talk about the pass rush. 27 pressures, 12 QB hits, 13 hurries, and 2 sacks on Justin Herbert yesterday. Like that's insanity. Like, it's great stat line. But you look at what we faced yesterday. Both tackles were out. And Bryce, bye-bye. Both tackles were out. Their guard was out, Mekhi Becton. And then their center was battling a back injury. Like, yeah, you should dominate that kind of line. Like, they literally had 3 out of 5 starting offensive linemen out and 1 injured that was just playing through it. Now, I don't want to be that, like, let's poop on a parade here, to put it nicely, kind of guy. But we have to kind of go, okay, well, they basically played backups. They should have dominated. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like. Like, there's no reason for us to get excited about beating backups up. Like, yeah, love, we got to win. But I think to over celebrate this is a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about too. Like, there's so many backups in this on that offensive line, and yeah, our defense looked good. But once again, it's like saying our defense looked good in preseason. You're playing backups.
That's where it's at. You look at the rushing game for us yesterday there in the game, 161 yards. Giants averaged 3.8 yards per carry against a team that was going into this game giving up over 5 yards per carry. Like, I don't think that I can sit there and say we had an amazing rushing attack against them. You can look at the yards; it looks great on paper, but we ran so much that was just a cumulative effect in the yards at that point.
Yeah,
well, it was a good game overall for them, but I'm looking at where we're playing against, and I got to take that into the equation. Like, we're literally facing a team that, like you and I said going into this game, has trouble stopping the run.
I mean, you also have to look at it too. It's like Scadaboo was not our number 1 at the beginning of the year, so to take that into consideration as well. So 3.8. So it was a good showing for Scadaboo. So let's not like just homer that out as well.
No,
you're also right. It's like, when the opposed team averages 5 yards per carry, like, you would hope to see a couple bigger breaks and runs. Yeah. And it just makes you wonder. It's like, if you would have played, like, if Tracy was healthy and was able to do a little more finesse, it would have looked a little different. Because, I mean, all those runs, pretty much Singletary off the middle, which, I mean, that was most play call was just off the middle. But Scadaboo just running into traffic constantly, and Dart were off to the side. It's kind of obvious what we're doing there.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying, guys, let's not celebrate the win. Celebrate the win. But I've seen some Giants fans going like crazy, like, oh, we did all this against the Chargers. Like, all of a sudden we're like amazing. Like, I think we're kind of overblown we did here. Like, here's a good one for you. Giants had 2 interceptions and didn't give up any turnovers. You kind of expect some turnovers with a rookie quarterback. That's fine. I'm not going to get ticked off at Jackson Dart if it happens because you kind of expect it. And he did have a good game yesterday. So again, but we had 2 interceptions. That is not common for the Giants. On top of that, we returned both those interceptions to within the 5-yard line. And we got 10 points on it. Now, reverse this for a second. Rob, I'm going to put you in the shoes. Okay, let's say the Giants go ahead and they give up an interception. Okay, let's say we throw a pick. I'm not going to put it on dark because I don't even put that out there in the world. I like the fact that we got no pick right now. We're going to go ahead and say someone threw an interception. Let's say Jameis Winston. It just seems plausible. Jameis Winston gets it, even though he's the third quarterback of the team, whatever. And the Chargers hypothetically had gone ahead and got down to the 3-4 yard line, okay? And our defense stops them for a field goal. Is that not a win for our defense?
It is, big time.
So that's my issue I have, is that we had an easy chance to score 14 points. We left 4 points on the table. And the continuing issue we have with the red zone, but actually getting touchdowns, it's an issue. We literally wasted one of those 2 picks. I mean, Lawrence almost had a heart attack trying to get into the end zone the first time.
Listen, we're 1-3 in the season. Dart, as a new Giant team, Dart is 1-0. So let's not take all the stats of the full year of the red zone and try to compare it to what Dart's done.
I get it. My issue, and this is why I'm saying, again, notice I haven't said anything, just for anybody else listening as well. I haven't said anything positive, negative on Dart because I'm not even trying to get on Dart any kind of analysis right now. It's one game.
I know what you're saying, but it's we all agreed. Yes, we agreed before. It's a different vibe. So I hear what you're trying to say stat wise, talking about the offense, but the offense also played way different yesterday than they have ever they've done in 9 years.
We scored 21 points, and 10 of that came on the 2 interceptions.
You know what's awesome? How many interceptions we have last year?
But I'm just saying, you can't count on that. That was the pressure because all the offensive linemen were out.
I hear what you're trying to say, but also let's not look too into the negative like you're doing right now. You're going down. You're trying to find a tunnel to go into.
What I'm just saying is, I feel like people have gotten too hyped up over the one win, going, "Oh my God, look! It's an all-pro pass rush across the entire line, and we ran it all over the place. And Scatterboo's going all crazy." I'm just saying, that's. I think some of this has to be talked about there. There you go. For example, the Giants defense gave up 18 points against the Chargers. Okay, I get that. Great. Finally, a good game for the defense. We also gave up 128 yards to Murray and Hampton at 98 combined yards in the first 2 games. The first 3 games, I should say. It was averaging 3.5 yards per carry. We gave him 10.7 yesterday.
And both of them was off the 2 runs when we gave up 60 yards.
I get it, but it's there. It's there. What I'm saying is the issues and concerns I had with the Giants, I can't sit there and say are fixed or I saw momentum towards fixing.
Listen, you could sit there either way and back and forth. You have to analyze it equally. You can't just say you can't compare this win with the offense compared to how we lost last week, because it's a different play, different quarterback calling. Audibles at the line.
Well, don't even start with how we lost last week, because Chiefs goddamn game.
Just saying, we also can't compare it to playing against Cowboys when we put up 40 points instead of 21 points.
Like I said, again, it's not that I don't think you guys should be excited about the win. Be excited about the win.
I just don't think you should be we just won a Super Bowl on week 4 after being. Yeah, you also shouldn't be excited we just won the Super Bowl in week 4 when we haven't won a game.
That's the concern. What I'm seeing in some Giants fans. And listen, celebrate it. I'm just saying, love the win. Recognize there's still some issues. That's all I'm saying. And. Again, you notice I didn't mention Dart in this at all. I'm not trying to even make this about Dart right now. I'm trying to talk about the other issues all around the team at that point there. I loved what we saw of Dart, point blank. I really did. And the stats don't tell the story of what this kid did on the game field. He clearly controlled the game. He did what he had to do. He was moving around. The only issue I have with him is taking sacks he should have taken, but that's a normal thing out of a rookie.
100%.
That's like, and that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not even making this about negative pro him because the jury's still out. We have no clue. I don't even have a thought process on him yet because I also thought that the Giants point blank stifled him by not giving him the ability to throw on obvious plays he should have thrown.
That's 100% true.
What's 100% true?
What you just said.
Leave it to Jay. But like I said, and again, this isn't me trying to put people down for celebrating the win. Celebrate the win, guys. We haven't had a win we've actually cared about in 11 months. Like, that's how bad it's been as a Giants fan. Celebrate the goddamn win.
Almost 51 weeks.
I just want people to also be realistic when they go, oh, look how amazing the pass rush was. Things are turning around. Are they? Or was it the fact we played backups?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, when we beat the Seahawks last year and we were upset because we played backups on that offensive line and they looked better than our offensive line. So there's also that too. So there's improvement. I'm just trying to say is, yeah, we play backups. It doesn't mean like they're not good players out there.
Oh,
like maybe we shouldn't sit there. Like some of those guys could probably be stars on other teams. Like
that's not saying much. Let's be honest. We've seen our offensive line.
Exactly.
And like I said, that's why I'm just saying, let's be realistic about it. Let's celebrate the win, but let's recognize that this isn't a season-changing win. And that if we want to build something, we got to build something. We can't get excited over 1 week. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
You got the win, but keep it realistic of what you got. And Jay, you leave Jackson Dart's mom alone. She's a married woman.
She's a mother.
Obviously, that's how she became Jackson Dart's mother.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah, I think she went to a Maury Povich show and he was like, "You are the mother."
No! Runs out of the field.
Oh my god. All right, guys, we're gonna pay the bills real quick. We're right back to do our week 4 recap here of all the NFL games there. Right back with you all. So
thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
all righty, guys. All right, let's get into our NFL recap here for week 4. And guys, we're gonna pre-warn you that Rob and I did not do good last week on our picks at all. We keep it real.
Worst pick ever.
Oh my gosh, we did not do good. We did not do good. Though we're still hovering at just under 60% for the percentages for the picking the winners of the game. So I'll take that, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely an off week for us, that's for sure. So again, we always start with the Thursday game, but again, it's been so long ago. We're just going to tell you the score was 23-20 for the Seahawks to win there. Not much need to talk about there. The Seahawks typically beat the Cardinals every single time. It's what they've done for years now.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's talk about the Vikings going to the Steelers in Dublin Friday night when let's talk about the Leprechaun that showed up and beat up on Thomas.
We're both Irish, so we can do that.
Yeah, that's just today. Showed him a good old shenanigans. But yeah, the Steelers come in a nail-biting game. They win in Dublin, 24-21. Let's talk about DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers looking pretty darn good down the field. Metcalf with 126 yards, but that doesn't mean JJ didn't have his best game of the year with 126 yards. Addison with 114 yards, where they were trying to win some ball there. Wentz threw for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 crucial interceptions, giving the Steelers 5 turnovers in that game, which literally led to the difference of why they won there at that 24-21. In Dublin, which
the Eagles coming down to Tampa Bay here to face the Bucs. Have been a scrappy do over here, but Eagles did some things as well. So unfortunately, Eagles got a touchdown off a blocked punt. Like, who called for that play? Got some good news for the Bucs though, as Chase McLaughlin literally broke an NFL record for the longest field goal outdoors. You got to put that on there. Outdoors. It's not the dome. 65 yards. That's insanity.
It's insanity.
Now, also interesting thing, if we talk about, it's the running thing with the NFL for years now, the tush push. Well, the Eagles literally faked a tush push, handed the ball off to Saquon Barkley, who just walked right in for a touchdown in this game as well. So another wrinkle to keep an eye out there as we're about to play the Eagles here 2 out of the next 4 weeks here, guys. But Eagles did squeak it out 31-25 to give the Bucs their first loss of the season.
Sneaky. All right, let's talk about almost another upset where the Saints go down and play. Well, they go off to play the Bills. Listen, the Saints was in this game. They were within a score pretty much to the fourth quarter. Yeah. Even a lot of people think that might have been an upset at the end, but yeah, the Bills were just much a better team. The Saints had a crucial turnover in the fourth quarter, and then Josh Allen does what Josh Allen does and just didn't turn it off the gears, and they win 31-19 with Josh Allen completing 2 touchdown passes with a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and that was our spread pick of the week there, by the way, because we said the Bills don't typically beat the crap out of really bad teams. They just don't. It's not their typical mantra there. So we were right on that one at least.
Yeah.
That one. So Lions beat the crud out of the Browns 34-10 there. Joe Flacco had 2 interceptions and a fumble in the game. Just flat out looks like he needs to just walk away from the game at this point there. I know there's a little bit of magic left in that hat they found a couple years ago when he went to Cleveland and had those like 6 games where he went crazy and then threw interception after interception in the postseason when they got in. But listen, you got Dylan Gabriel, you got Shedeur Sanders. Like, why are you trotting out the senior citizen quarterback instead of seeing
really pushing him out in the wheelchair? Good luck.
Yeah, like I just think that it's time for them to move on. But yeah, Lions just totally destroy the Browns.
Talk about a massacre. You got the Titans going into Houston playing the Texans. That Texans were up 6-0 into the fourth, going into the fourth quarter, where they woke up and CJ Stroud just went dominant. Titans had a crucial turnover. That Texans defense really stepped up and looked like the number 1 defense of the week.
Yeah.
Which is not saying much because they also play the Titans.
Pretty much whoever plays the Titans is the defense of the week.
Yeah, well, CJ Stroud also had a big game too, so kudos to him finally getting together in week 4.
He had a big quarter.
Touche.
Say it that way. So next up, we had our game, of course. Listen, guys, we had our post-game show. Obviously, you can go find that on our channels as well. But Giants win 21-18 to keep Jackson Dart undefeated as a starting quarterback in the NFL. That is technically a true statement.
Technically.
We started Jackson Dart.
You're not wrong. Well, the Commanders go. Listen, after last week, you had Atlanta getting beat up, skunked by the Panthers. Well, they decided to host the Commanders this week, and they squeak out a win. Not only did they squeak out a win, it just didn't look like the Commanders were in this game the whole time. They also were out without Daniels in this game, playing the backup with a couple of some other injuries in offense, but the Commanders defense didn't show up in this game. Falcons win 34 over the Commanders 27. The Penix was 20 for 26.
Like an STD. Do you have the Penix?
The Penix. Not the junior one, the big one.
Oh, God.
The Penix threw for 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on my fantasy bench. Boo. Bijan Robinson ran for 181 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, no, that was a run for that. That was total yards receiving.
Sorry. Well, Drake London also had himself a good game finally with 110 yards and a touchdown as well.
Am I the only one who wants to see the Falcons play in London just so we can have London in London?
London Bridge is falling down. It's the whole time stupid.
It'd be fun. Now you said that the Falcons got skunked by the Panthers last week. Well, they just got skunked back by the Patriots this week. Patriots win 42-13. Absolute thrashing there. Drake May, 3 touchdowns, 2 throwing the ball, 1 rushing the ball, and just clear dominance right off the bat. That's just what this is.
It was almost 42 unanswered points. It was crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, talk about another game that was a little bit exciting because he had undefeated Colts going into LA playing the Rams.
Johnny Mitchell, what is the problem, man?
Yeah, well, Mitchell fumbled as he went for a touchdown, which was really ridiculous because he was right there, just dropped it. He also had another penalty that cost him a touchdown. JT rushed for a touchdown. DJ was 24 of 33 with 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Listen, the Colts were in this game. Danny Dimes did what he did a little bit, threw some picks. There were some also costly turnovers by Mitchell, which gave the Rams the victory, 27 over the Colts 20.
Yeah. I mean, that's point blank. Donnie Mitchell really cost them the game. You fumble the ball, you go to walk into the end zone, you fumble the ball at the 1, it goes out the back of the end zone. So instead of getting 6 points, you gave up the ball and just stopped any scoring potential at all. Then you have a penalty for holding, calls back a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. It's like,
yeah, it was and that JT touchdown was like 26 yards, 27 yards, something crazy. Yeah.
Run. Yeah, and it was such an obvious hold on. It wasn't even like oh, you got me on that one. Like it was like you fell on the guy, basically pushed him to the ground and fell on him. Like insanity. For a game that they literally lost the Colts by 1 touchdown. That easily could have been a win for the Colts by a touchdown instead.
Yeah.
So absolute craziness. So next up, we got the Jaguars doing things that aren't Jaguar-esque and winning against the 49ers, 26-21. And you got to start wondering here. This is getting a little more of a scrappy team of this Jaguars. And the Niners, listen, we called it going into the season here. The Niners are not the same Niners. I've been saying it all year long, guys. It's not the same Niners. And yet I made the mistake of saying they'd win this game.
You and me both.
Purdy had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. Travis Etienne, 124 yards rushing. I mean, it was a close game here, but ask me this last year, and I would have said, oh, yeah, the Niners going to crush the Jaguars. It's just one team is looking like they might be going a little bit upward there. And I'm not going to say a lot because they still got some pieces they need, but going a little bit more upward. And the Niners are just, I feel like they're starting to take that downward slope there.
Oh, they're going to spot big time because you got Nick Bosa. I think he's out for the year. Barkley just came back. Yeah, Jennings that was injured in this game. You had a lot of injuries for the Niners. And Jaguars capitalized in their defense. I think this is the 3rd straight game with 5 turnovers overall. It was some crazy stat for that defense. So kudos to them because everyone talks about Trevor Lawrence being over there, being the dude that's, the plus Daniel Jones, supposed to be amazing. It was definitely the defense that won that game for the Jaguars, which is crazy to hear.
Yeah.
But up next, talk about the rematch, a game that everyone loves to see. You had the Ravens going into Kansas City, playing them Chiefs. The Chiefs offense finally woke up.
Yeah.
With the return of Xavier McKinney. They put that shoulder right back in place, and he had himself a heck of a game. Lamar Jackson left late in the third quarter with a hamstring injury. It was an early fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes, you got him on fantasy. He threw up some big points there. I think it was his top-ranked QB. He threw himself 4 touchdowns with 270 yards. Chiefs win this game 37-20 when the Ravens didn't even seem like they were in it. That defense didn't show up whatsoever. So, but they're also battling a couple key injuries on defense. So
now
we shall see.
The Ravens have like the worst defense in all of football right now, by the way, guys. When's the last time you said that?
I mean,
they've been the Ravens.
They've played some pretty elite offenses, and they haven't tried anyone down. I mean, granted, their offense kept it close in a lot of these games. And we talk about Chiefs, Lions, Bills. So they've had some tough matchups.
My biggest issue with this game, actually, was if you watch the game and you see anytime something bad happened, I feel like Lamar Jackson was more like a hissy fit. And
he looked out of it.
Yeah, like there was something wrong with, and I don't know if it was the injury. He did leave with the hamstring issue, obviously. I don't know if that was going on, but every time he got hit, every time he made a bad throw, you can just see him just so frustrated and ticked off. It's not even funny. But we'll see what happens. He might be out next week, they're saying, even too. So
yeah. Woof.
All right. So we got the matchup that nobody wanted, the Bears at the Raiders. Except for any degenerate gamblers on the Bears roster. Maybe they wanted the matchup, but Bears squeak out a win 25-24. Bears literally blocked a 55-yard field goal attempt that would have given the Raiders the lead with 35 seconds left. So it was a close, good game there. Genti finally woke up as well, 138 yards rushing in the game there for the Raiders. But Geno Smith, 3 interceptions and only 117 passing yards. Kind of hard to overcome 3 interceptions, that's for sure. Especially in a game where you got 2 teams that are closely matched there. So Bears squeak out a victory there.
Yeah. Let's talk about the victorless league game or the loseless game. I don't know what you want to call it, but the Packers and the Cowboys beat Arlington, Texas. And I don't know if I talked about the Packers defense being one of the best in the league, and I don't know where they were in this game. I don't know where Dallas's defense was. I mean, they've let up a lot of scores as it was anyway this year, but my God, Green Bay ties the game with a field goal. It expires in overtime. It's 40-40 after this game. And you got to question the force, like lack of willingness to go for this in overtime. Like there's some play call in here that's you got to question if you're a Green Bay fan.
Yeah.
Because you should have went for the win.
Got to have
the eye of the eye of the cheese, if you will.
It's the eye of the cheddar.
The Swiss.
Well, I don't think there'd be Swiss cheese in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pretty sure it's a cheddar place. Maybe it would be Gouda to get more points.
The Gouda.
Bunch of defensive monsters out there.
It's that was
neither game sharp in that game, that's for sure.
They definitely put some cheddar out there.
Oh my gosh.
They left the game feeling blue.
Yeah, okay. Oh my God. Too many cheese jokes here. The game just ended, by the way.
Forget about it.
The Dolphins beat the Jets there 27-21. Big injury news with Tyreek Hill. Looks not very good at all. So I don't think you're going to see him probably for a little while. In the game, Darren Waller, ex-Giant who didn't actually want to be a Giant, 2 touchdowns he had in the game here. So listen, I know that some Giant fans lament seeing Darren Waller succeed. Just remember, there's a kicker. He's got to hit certain performance things for us to not have to give up a 7th-round pick in that draft, in that trade. So I'll be rooting for Darren Waller to go ahead and just hit those kickers and then retire again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! As Giants fans have dislocated knee for Hill, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they usually don't release, full medical evaluations till the next day. Same as we said with Nabers yesterday. So we'll see. The other game currently going on, of course, we got the Broncos and the Bengals, and right now the Broncos are taking care of business at home, 21-3 with 9.5 minutes left. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that game there, but it looks like the Broncos should be pulling ahead with a win there. Now going to the tally board there, thank God we got the under on the Jets and Dolphins game here, so I at least got a point back here. And you and I are the same for the Broncos, so no matter what happens, they're going to win by 1 point. Really, this 1 point this week. That extends your lead to 3 points on me after 4 weeks. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here, but it's still. I said whoever wins this week could probably win overall, and you barely squeaked out a win. So yeah, listen, honestly, the Giants won. That's what I care about.
I'll forget about my my terrible spread picks this week.
I know it's being negative Nancy before, but listen, they won. I'm excited by that. I know Debbie Downer. That's what I'm being.
Wah, 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 wah. Hey, two and three of my favorite teams won. So
hopefully we got a streak going here. We beat the Saints too as well, and obviously Wednesday guys will be on with our preview of the Saints Giants game here. The one that we kind of circled early in the year is probably the easiest win of the season there, but nothing's a given. I'm sure the Chargers circled us too as an easy win in too. So you just never know. So again, we'll be back for you guys here on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. on, of course, YouTube, the preferred platform, along with Twitter/X, Facebook, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite,
LinkedIn
profile. And of course, as always, we're available the next day to all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. And again, big shout out to all the audio podcast listeners there for helping us literally break our record by more than double the downloads of what we did last month, which was a record prior to that. It's insane.
Thanks again, guys,
for all the support there.
Gracias.
Guys, we'll see you guys all Wednesday, like I said, 9 p.m. there to do our preview. And of course, hopefully at that point we'll have a nice positive talk. It'd be weird to have a positive talk going to a game. When's the last time we've been positive going to a game?
Oof.
Right? Like that seems weird, doesn't it? Yeah. That's where we're at.
One, maybe.
Gosh. All right, guys. We'll see you guys again Wednesday. Appreciate you guys for listening, watching as always. And as always, Giant fans.
Go J-Man! 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 We want a game, J-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.